what's up? Welcome to the next in the Vision series. I get to draw on the board again, so I'm quite happy. What I want to bring up in this one is when I saw, you've probably heard the expressions like the fabric of life, the web of life, the whatever. And as I started to get more out of the matrix, I'm starting to see physical realms sort of disappear and what's beyond those. I think I mentioned that in one of the videos where I poked the hole in the poster. I can't remember what that one was called. But anyway, it's when you see like a crack of light and then you just realise that there's so much more beyond this physical world that we see. And sometimes I see triangles, and other times I've seen quite often this grid that exists, and it's like this web of life that just holds everything together and it flows and it actually looks like a grid. Now, when I'm talking about a world of infinite possibilities, this is how this works, is that you have the grid, but when we think of a grid, I don't know how I'm going to draw that. The grid kind of goes this way, right? Like if we're looking at the Earth, it kind of goes this way, but I'm going to have to draw it like this because I'm only drawing in 2 dimensions. So that's what a grid looks like. Now, how I saw this was that because I can only draw based on my skill, and maybe because of the dimension that we live in, I can only draw in this two-dimensional fashion. But what happened was each grid has another. So what happens is this line. Try and spit this out. If you're ever wondering why I don't spit things out, it's because all the answers to everything, right, are basically, or at least my head, and all of us is like a vessel for communication from outside sources. And so all the answers can be in here at once, but then it's got to be coded or transcribed into our linear format of a language, which is very limited. And then it's got to come out of just one thing. So basically all the answers are spiraling around. It's like one event happening at once and all the answers are there, but it has to be condensed and then spat out of one opening in a linear fashion. So that's why I kind of jumble around a lot. But anyway, so each part of the grid does this, and then it'll get to a point and it'll branch off like that, right? So then what you've got is another part of the grid, and then this line will come and then that will branch off into multiple directions. And then, that part of that grid will do the same. And then each time the grid splits, it has multiple possibilities. So that one again will branch off and that'll form multiple possibilities. And then as part of the possibilities of that grid, that will branch off and form multiple possibilities. And because that's happening in multiple dimensions at once, not just in one plane, it's like, that's how come there are so many different possibilities, so many events happening at one time. That's why our perception of time on a timeline, as I've shown in other videos, is a false interpretation of what actually goes on. It's like, everything goes on at once, and then you say, well, then that means that there is just a code and our lives, we may as well just sit back because it means that free will is taken out. I'm not making my own choices, but you are. It's just that you only perceive that because of your perception of time still. It's like even if you have already made all the decisions in your life that you're ever going to make, it's not that they're already done, so now you just sit and if you know where I'm going. The point is that you have made those decisions, it's just that you've already made them. It's how come you can have deja vu and things like premonitions, because these things have already happened, you've already made these choices, and free will was available in that moment, and you've used free will. Just because you're thinking of it's a past or a future event, and then if the answers are already, decisions have been made, or fate's been programmed, then that takes away free will. It doesn't. Free will is always there in each moment, in each event that happens. It's just that you're looking at it on a linear format, not a one event that's happening all at once. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, as usual, any questions on this sort of stuff, guys, write in. I'll try to explain it a little further. Just trying to give you guys, again, a chance to perhaps be inspired that there's a lot more to see. There's a lot more in life to see. It's not just looking, physical things, I'm a big fan of, say, boobs as well. I like looking at that, but it's like, there's just so much more to life, there's so much more to life to see. I'm getting excited, I can't even speak. So, it's just all this stuff. This is why life excites me so much. And even, that's why having a health condition that I got 10 years ago, people say, oh shit, you missed out on your 20s, you must be depressed, you must hate things and whatever, and be angry. But it's like, I'm not. It's like, in some respects, sure, I'd still love to be an athlete. And I'm actually getting to the stage where I'll be that again anyway. So it's not, and because I don't have this same concept of time as a lot of people do, it doesn't bother me so much. But also because I've been able to stop being distracted by so much stuff that I thought was important but really wasn't. And it's allowed me to be opened up to these other realms and things of consciousness that I'm experiencing. And honestly, it's so much more fulfilling than a lot of this matrix stuff that I was doing before. So again, it's just, I'm hoping to be able to give people an opportunity to know what else is out there to be seen. And I'm no special person. This isn't a special gift that I have. It's just that I've weaned myself out of the matrix, which came from not watching the news, not reading magazines, not watching TV, not listening to idiots, not buying into crap, not believing that I have to work all the time just for money and I have to save, not believing that there's laws because there aren't any. Do you know what I mean? Just taking what human civilization has built and discarding that and just looking to nature, looking to my inner self and loving all things and all people around me. And that's how I've got to be able to do this sort of stuff. And obviously I'm just at the start of a journey of many, I can't wait to sort of see the things I'm going to see at future stages. So hope that opened your eyes in some way. I will see you on the next one. Until then, enjoy. Hopefully you guys start having some visions of your own and you can write in and share them with me. I'd like to hear about them. Catch you then.